What's going on, everybody? It's Trey Leo again, and we are back again with another Sabaton video. Since I did Primo Victoria, I felt it'd only be right if I do this one also, just because I believe they're on the same album, if I'm not mistaken. If I said that wrong, please don't crucify me. I'm sorry. I make mistakes. But I just wanted to share that real quick, and I briefly went over some of the lyrics, just briefly, and I felt that it does kind of coincide or coalesce with the Primo Victoria. So, that one was deep though. If you haven't seen that video, I suggest you go check it out. I will post a link in the description of that video as well. I do want to say one thing just to kind of get it out there, and I don't want to come off as like, I'm not a charity case. But YouTube has tightened up their classifications or their stipulations, if I will, for monetization. And I'm not getting paid for any of these videos. I do them purely because I know people like to see them, and I enjoy listening to new music. So it's a win-win for both of us. But I will post a link for my PayPal in the description. If people don't use PayPal anymore, I'm kind of old school. I don't know what the hell's, I don't know what's being used nowadays. I really don't. But if people feel so inclined to do so, it'd be appreciated. And I'm not asking you to give you your pension or, whatever one feels to be generous. That's all. I don't particularly care for it. It's just that, I do kind of sit and I put in the time. And granted, I'm just sitting here making a reaction, but I've seen people get paid for less. For those ones who don't know, I'm not going to call anybody out. This is purely about me, no one else. I'm sorry. I was about to call some people out, but I'm not. But YouTube has definitely tightened up the reins and made it harder, far harder for smaller channels. So I just feel like, because anyway, forget it. Forget I even mentioned it. Scratch it. Let's just get this. Let's do this video. I hope everyone's having a good day. And yeah. Just real quick. See, this is why I like Sabaton. Sabaton puts you right in there. They're very descriptive sound of mortars. They give you this descriptive fear, this morbid fear. Like, you imagine what it'd be like for those ones who had to face Hitler and go up against them. Like, seriously, like, they were some, man, like, I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't even want to be in the same vicinity of this guy. Like, you know what he'll do to me? Anyway, it's not funny. I'm serious. It's just real shit. But I just want to say that. I do like Sabaton and their descriptive nature, and their lyrics put you right in the midst of what it would have been like. At least for me. I'm a very visual and auditory. I learned auditorially and visually. And so now I read the lyrics and I just kind of put myself in that position, and it's not pretty. It is not pretty. Even the picture in the background is like kind of very descriptive as to, clearly it's like mortars are being fired. There's gunfire. Like the guy on the far right, my right on that side, he's shooting a machine gun. So there's a lot of shit going on, and this is just a depiction. But could you imagine actually being there? You know what? I'm not going to give you a history lesson here. You didn't come for that, but I will post a link in the description as to about this battle, because I said in the last battle, in the last song, I feel that people learn better when they come to their own self-realizations. So I'm not going to be lecturing you, telling you what to believe and what to think and all this. And we're not going to do that. We're intellectuals. We learn for ourselves. So I might nudge you in a certain direction, and then you come to the realization on your own, based on your own opinion. But never will you hear me say, this is the truth, this is what you should believe. We don't do that. I don't do that. Because I want people to come to their own realization. Because I would want someone to give me the opportunity, not just kind of spoon feed me information, you know? At any rate, let's get back to the song. I apologize for the rant. The little hook here, or I don't know what you want to call it. I'm not a music person, so I don't know what the general terms are. I just appreciate good music. But I like that, 'cause I did like this guitar riff. They are awesome. So yeah, this is the guy, Piscator. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I will be posting a link to his, I mean, it's right here, but I'll post a link to the original video so you can see it. And, wow. No, that gave me more of a visceral response than I thought it would actually. Like, it's a good song, no lie, but, whew, just seeing it. Man. Some brave individuals. People who are willing to go to war are some brave individuals. Like, seriously, hands down, they get my utmost respect because, oh, it's a hard job. That is a, whew. And I feel like they don't get the admiration that they deserve either. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of veterans get mistreated and they don't get the due justice that they had to put into going into these situations. You know, you hear how they don't get their full pension, they don't get their full checks, they don't get their full benefits, and they got to fight tooth and nail for these things. And it's like, had you being the person who's giving it out, meaning the government or whatever, and I don't want to be like a conspiracist or whatever, but I'm just saying for the record, had these individuals have been in a war for themselves, they wouldn't hesitate to give them their money. They wouldn't hesitate to give them what they deserve, you know? Like, that's what kind of gets me and makes me upset, because it's like, you see, hearing about it is one thing, because you kind of, you don't have that visual eye, you don't see it, you don't know them, there's no personal connection. But when you see it for yourself and actually see what these individuals had to go through, and this is just one example. There are plenty of wars being fought, but this was a very monumental one in particular. But when you see it, it becomes real. You know, you have feelings for these individuals like that put their lives on the line in order to protect your individual rights and your freedoms. So that's why I can respect this. That's why I like Sabaton, because they're not only bringing out good music, but they're educating people on what happened. You know. Whew. At any rate, that was hard. Man. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something. Like I said, I'll post a link in the description of this particular individual, Piscator. I think, yes. Piscator? Maybe it's pi, because it's pi, the pi signal, cat, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at pronouncing other people's, I don't know how they initially intended for it to be pronounced, so, you know, I don't want to butcher it. So I'm gonna stop. Post a link in the description. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll catch you all on the next one.